What's up, guys? We're back on this Gibson. Just going to give you an update. My camera work is not the best in the world. I'll get kind of sidetracked and get to record a lot of stuff. So, last time you saw it, there was basically no back, no braces on the back. Frets were missing. Bridge was not on. Lots of cracks. Kerfing was missing. So, I have actually went ahead and got everything for the most part done. Start with the back. We have stained everything. We got the book match pieces, went ahead and got it together. The neck we've got stained. Went with the gold hardware. Got everything bolted in, everything's nice, got new ferrules in it. The color, actually, I tried to match the headstock the best I could there. I'm using a red mahogany color finish to stain everything with, and it seems to match pretty well. I believe once I get some lacquer on it, it should shine up and match pretty darn good. The binding on the back, I've already got it in. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can do something with this little bit of a gap here. Got everything stained, all the binding is in and scraped down for the most part. It's not finished at all. Kind of waiting to get all this lacquer on, try to get it sealed in real well. But we got the back on, got it glued together. I've got the braces in. Flip it over here. See if you see down in there maybe. Guess that's not helping much, but you know, I've got the braces in. Got everything glued in nice and tight. Went ahead and replaced the kerfing that needed to be replaced. There was a couple of spots, you know, here and there that had a piece or two missing. So took a small chisel. It's an X-Acto hobby chisels basically is what I used. I believe I have it put up. But I used those to do all my chiseling with the kerfing because it had a small, nice, you know, fairly small blade. Got in there just fine, took everything off, got everything smoothed out, glued new pieces in, got them nice and sturdy. That way I wanted something that the back would have 100% footage all the way around. I wanted everything to be glued nice and tight. So we got all that in. In fact, you can see a piece of the kerfing there that I had replaced before. The top, all these little cracks that used to be one running right up through here. Over here you can actually still see this one, but over time there's just dirt and dust and just crap that gets stuck in there, and there's just no way to get that out. So you'll still see it, but for the most part it'll be taken care of, and all of this, including the small spiders here, everything is glued 100%. I've got a slideshow. I've got probably a couple hundred pictures of this thing as I was building it, sending back and forth to my buddy. So I'll do a slideshow to kind of give you a better idea of what I did, because like I said, my camera work was not the greatest and I did not get any footage on it. But I got the bridge glued in. It's been glued in probably a week ago, and we've just been kind of letting everything sit. These are not actually stuck in there. They're just kind of sitting in, just for looks. The saddle's not sanded down yet. I do not have any of the action set up actually. We did get all the frets in. I was worried about the size of the frets. There is a little bit different, but I could not find any frets to match what was on there. Being a 54 Gibson, we actually contacted Gibson and they gave us the size fret we needed, so we bought that, and they seem a little small to me. But what are you going to do? You know, I've already done it, and the other ones are glued in real nice, and they're not going anywhere. And the lady that owns this, she stays down more in this lower region anyways, so it's not really going to matter. We're going to get everything, all the frets leveled and re-crowned, make sure everything's nice and, you know, polished up real well. Got all the fret ends are real nice and smooth all the way down. I can't feel those. Everything kind of matches with the original frets as far as the angle on the ends and everything. I did all this with a hand file. I do not have any of the fancy tools that I wished I had, as far as the thread end beveler and all that good stuff. So I'm doing this basically with needle files, hand files. I got a Baroque crown file, which is actually not bad. Maybe possibly could leave just a little bit smoother finish, but dude, for what I've got, no more than I need them. That's the $30 is worth it. My buddy actually bought this for me as basically a gift for helping work on this guitar. I'm using needle files and some snap-on files that I've had in my box. Just different ones. I've got all my tools still scattered everywhere. So, where the guitar actually sits is clean. There's nothing there. So don't hate on me too bad, y'all. But we're going to get the lacquer put on it. Maybe get this thing finished up and give it to Miss Terry. And I really hope she, appreciates it. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at now. Just kind of waiting on the weather here's been kind of crappy. So it's going to be a while before I can actually get everything painted because the weather's just not working out in our favor right now. This is Alabama, so who knows, next week may be a whole different story. But as you see, the frets are done. I went ahead and oiled the fretboard. It was bad, split, cracked. It was getting really bad, especially right around in this area. You can still see some of those really big cracks that were starting to get worse. That should be okay now. You're really not going to pay much attention to that. The rest of it looks pretty good. One thing was neat, the truss rod cover. We decided to make one out of the mahogany we had left over. I think I showed this to you the last time. My buddy Ben actually made that. We got it screwed in. I went ahead and got some shellac put on it just to kind of seal everything up real nice. I did not stain it like I did the back or the sides, mainly because I was afraid it was going to take away some of the detail of it that he put into it, some of the shading, and I really didn't want to mess with that much, so we just left it like it is. It's a little bit different color, but that's fine. Nothing's going to matter. As you see, I did not mess with the headstock any. We're going to get everything polished up once everything's said and done before we give it to her. But I'm getting ready to put the strings on it. The nut is not in yet, as you can see. I do have the nut. I just do not have it in because I'm going to wait till I was waiting until we go ahead and get the strings put on it. That way I can go ahead and start doing some action setup. But man, I really want to hear this thing play. So we're going to get some strings on it pretty shortly. And yes, this spot here, there was already a little bit of black in there. I did try to fill it in, but not thinking I used super glue. I should have used some wood glue, but super glue kind of stained it a little bit. You can see the dark brown. The black, there was nothing I could do with, but the dark brown, it just kind of stained it. And we're just going under a hummingbird style pick guard that he picked out anyways. You'll never see it. It kills me because I know it's there, but nobody will ever see it. Once we get the lacquer on it, the old lacquer that's here should kind of meld, blend together. So some of all this lighter stuff should disappear. Should all be one color again. These bridge pins, still not got these all completely reamed out yet. There's just some basic holes drilled. They don't go in all the way. They still sit a little proud, but that's all in the final adjustments. But just gonna give you a kind of an update of where we're at right now. I wish I would have got a little bit better footage. The side, by the way, this is the side that was repaired long before I got a hold of it. I believe maybe her father or somebody had actually said. The inside looked pretty bad. I don't think I can get a good shot of it in there. But it looked like it was just all kind of peeled out. But it actually was glued in very tight. The crack itself, once we got everything stained, you can see a little bit here, but you can start to see where the crack kind of comes up. and just over. But with the stain on it, man, you really have to get in the right angle to really notice it, I guess. But I'm think that's really awesome because that's an original repair. I did not repair this at all. I did put a little bit of glue. I believe it was right in here. But the two ends here and down here were already there. And I don't know if that was a wood filler or putty of some kind, but it really does not take stain well. But man, I mean, it's really hard from this angle. You just really can't see it. You gotta get right up next to it to really see the crack there. But I think that's gonna be awesome. Once we get the binding, I see a little something I have to clean up here. But once we get all this lacquered in, everything's nice and done, and man, I think it's just gonna melt away. The back had a jack where there was I believe a pickup in this at one time. So there it is. I just took a piece of mahogany, kind of matched the grain a little bit, the best I could. Stained it. I went ahead and took some needle files. I just basically cut it out with a little hobby saw. Yeah, it's not really gonna focus up close. You can kind of see the ring where it was, and it's a little different, off-colored. I'm not sure why. But I stained it with the same color the rest of this, and the back, it just didn't, for some reason, it didn't take as well. Maybe it's the glue got in there and kind of, I don't know, maybe filled the pores or something. But I sanded everything down. This is smooth. You cannot feel this at all with your fingernail, anything, which it's just a little different color. But it kind of gives a little character to it because the guitar is not perfect by any means. This end pin was given to him by a local guy here, and we got talking about needing an end pin for it, and he's like, well, heck, I got one, you know. It came out of a guitar that he had fixed, and it just so happened to be kind of a dark brown with a little pearl, almost a mother of pearl maybe inlay in there, almost abalone, but it kind of matches the abalone that's in here. And the pick guard's got a little abalone in it, some mother of pearl. So it's really going to look nice when we get done. But yeah, just want to give you an update of where we was at. Let you know I haven't forgot about the second video, but like I said, work, life, dogs. But yeah, we're gonna get this thing taken care of shortly. We're gonna put some strings on it and see if we can make this old girl sing again. So stick with me. I'll try to get a slideshow video up to where maybe give you a little idea of what I was doing this past month or two. After work, a couple hours, you know, on the weekends, every other weekend, I'd get off. You know, I'll work on it when I can, and it's really been a labor of love. It's one of those things you can just kind of sit in the house and tinker with when you bored, and gives you something to do without having to get out in the wet or the cold weather, and it was really fun. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, well, that's the update, and I will let you know as soon as we get it playing again. And like I said, I'll get that slide video out, and maybe I'll get a reveal video fairly soon. So you guys stick with me, and we'll see you later. Bye.